Hey, this is John with New Earth Landscaping with another edition of New Earth News. And it's that time of year, it's mulch madness. Yeah, we're not talking basketball here, we're talking your flower beds, your trees, anything like that where you've had mulch before. Mulch is important. One, it retains moisture, especially that's great during drought seasons. Number two, it suppresses weeds. Now, mulch is not going to deter weeds 100%, but basically any weeds that possibly could seed, it's harder for them to take root when there's mulch. When you have bare ground, it really opens it up to weeds just coming in and overtaking a garden. That's why I like mulching. Now, whenever you start to mulch, there's a couple things you want to know. You can lay down what's called a Preemergent. We use Preem. You always want to follow the label instructions. So you can take this after you've done your winter cleaned up and cleaned up anything. You can just take this and spread it through your bed. Okay. You want to be careful to stay away from any plants that are already established. But you spread that in. And what that'll do is that'll act like any weed seeds that are already on the ground from the winter, from last fall, it'll stop them from allowing them to come to growth and grow into a weed. So the next thing you do, after you've cleaned up your bed, you put down your Preemergent, you may be tempted to go out and buy some weed fabric. This is crap, okay? This will not stop weeds. Folks, weeds come in from the top down, or they're already in there from the winter, and they've been sitting there waiting to sprout when it gets warm. This stuff, though sold at some of your major stores, is not worth the money you're going to pay for it. It's great if you're laying out rock and you need something to hold the rock in place so that it doesn't go into the dirt, but that's all it's for. I do not suggest that you go out and buy this. In fact, you might as well just take your money and throw it in the trash. If you want to lay down something that's going to stop the weed seeds from coming up, if you don't want to put down Preemergent, newspaper. Okay? One, it's biodegradable. Number two, it will hold moisture. And number three, it'll act as a block underneath the mulch. So you just lay out some newspapers there. Okay, so you're all set. You got some newspapers down, and it doesn't matter how thick. You can lay a whole bunch down, you know. So there you've got that. The next thing you want to do is you want to cut an edge on your bed. Okay, we use a machine because it creates a 2.5 inch wide by a 3 inch deep, and you'll see. So we've already cut our edge, and the reason you cut your edge, you can see how wide it is, you can see how deep it is. The reason we cut an edge is because it's going to stop the grass from growing into the mulch. Alright? If you don't have a machine, you can always get out your trusted spade, and you can go along, and you can cut, and push it in, cut, push it in, cut, push it in, but that takes a lot of time and effort. That's why we have a machine. Alright, so now you're ready for your mulch. As you can see, I love using dyed black mulch. The reason why, it'll hold its color throughout the entire year. If you get regular double shredded hardwood mulch, it will turn white by July, August. So it looks kind of whitish. With the black or the dyed brown, you're going to have your color throughout the year. We have gone ahead and removed all the old mulch because it's been on there for 2 years. That's about how long that dyed mulch will hold its color, for about 2 years. But we went ahead and removed all this. If you're putting mulch on top of old mulch, make sure you go up and you fluff it. You take a pitchfork or something and you fluff it up, because what happens as mulch ages, it binds together and it creates like a mat. And you don't want that, so you want to fluff it up. Or you can just remove it and start all over. You can take that old mulch, put it into a compost bin, and make some good soil for yourself. So when we mulch, we only use double shredded mulch. Do not buy, and I'm going to tell you this right now, I know a lot of people love Scott's, but the Scott's products that are out there, they have a mulch. It is made from pine. It is not made from hardwood trees. It is made from pine. With that, it'll blow away easily. It will not retain moisture. You do not want to use pine bark nuggets. Pine bark nuggets do not retain moisture. I see a lot more weeds sprouting from pine bark nuggets. You want to use a double shredded hardwood mulch, sort of like this. Shredded hardwood mulch, you can buy it by the bag. These run about $4 a bag, or you can buy it in bulk and have it delivered. We buy in bulk because it's cheaper that way. 1 yard of mulch from a reputable company for dyed black runs $38, okay? If you figure 1 bag of dyed mulch, shredded hardwood at Home Depot runs about $2.50 a bag. You need 27 bags to equal 1 yard. So 27, and let's just say 2 to be on the safe side, is $50-some. So you're paying $17 more for a yard per bag. It's cleaner, but you got a lot more work to do than if you're doing it openly, just by the yard, and you're doing it with a wheelbarrow. Or you can call a company like New Earth to come in and we'll install it and do everything we're doing here. So you've got everything prepped, you're ready. With dyed mulch, I always work with my gloves, and the reason why is it's dyed, and if I didn't, I'd look like Al Jolson at the end of a mulching day. Okay? So I'm going to put my gloves on. We've already done our edge. We put down our newspaper. We put down Preemergent if we weren't going to do newspaper. Then what I like to do is I will bring my wheelbarrow in close. And remember, I said you want about 2 inches of mulch. So you can do this 2 ways. You can do it the way we do it, which is you just go in, dump a bunch of mulch in, and you can either spread it with a rake. Now I do not use the edge that has the forks. I flip it over to the flat side, and I pull it, I push it. Oh, we got a little ornament there. Don't want to get out. Little kitty cat out. Or because this is a small bed, do it by hand. When you're mulching, you do not want to put the mulch right up to the grass. You want to bring it in just a little bit, just so it's covering that edge. You still want to have a gap between the grass and the mulch. Then if you want, you could take your fan side of the rake, give it a nice smooth, delicate texture. Now, if you're not comfortable doing that and you just want to do it the other way, I will bring my wheelbarrow in. I'll take a pitchfork full of mulch. And I'll just lay it down, spread it. I'm probably doing this where you can't see it. Let me come over here. So I'll pick up a pitchfork full of mulch, walk it over, and I'll let it, and that's basically about 2 inches of mulch right there. More time consuming, but it really allows you to place delicately around where you need it to be. And then you can just lightly just let the rake, pitchfork go over it, and that's that. Alright? So that's mulching, mulch madness, and those are the steps you need to ensure that you don't have weeds, you retain moisture, your plants are healthy, and come summer, you don't have to be out here pulling weeds all the time. Again, 2 to 3 inches of mulch. Newspapers if you want. Cardboard works good too, but plastic weed fabric, not good. It's not biodegradable, does not stop the weeds, and it's a waste of your money. If you have any questions, give us a call. New Earth Landscaping. That's a wrap.